Alright, peace be upon you guys. The time has come. I am subscribing to X Premium. I can't afford the Premium Plus, at least for now, nor the business plan. But what I can afford is this Premium. Alright, why not Basic? Because there's no verification mark. As you can see, Premium is the recommended choice for the largest population or anyone subscribing. Basic is for those who really cannot afford, but I think I can afford at least Premium because I pay a little bit extra, literally just 23 minus 9, that's 14 ringgits, 14 ringgit extra, and I get a larger reply boost, half reduced ads, more usage limits on Grok AI, which I don't really use. I only use on my posts. I oftentimes rely on Gemini, Google Gemini. I'm using AI Studio for now because it is the state of the art until X is surpassing Gemini's intelligence, which I think is pretty hard. Both of them are quite good. Both of them have their own, ways to be at the top. X has data from X. Gemini has data from all Google, all the internet, basically, that they can access. Also X, but Google is more specialized on their ecosystem. X more specialized on whatever's in X. Okay. I cannot write articles on Premium that will need to require Premium Plus, but it's fine. I don't really write articles. I can just pause on X, get paid. Yes, this is one of the biggest reasons why I get Premium, why I'm planning to get Premium instead of Basic. I can get paid, but therefore I need to be even more active. If you look at Elon Musk, right? Before that, if you look at Elon Musk, he's posting on X. He's spending like 5 minutes every now and then to post, and he goes on and about continuing with his work. I can see the kind of person that he is because I would say, at the current state, he is considered as my boss, but I would look at him as equal partners. The way that he operates is like Elon Musk, and I told him that he is like Elon Musk, the mastermind. You use your mental more than your physical capability. You can still exercise, take care of your health, all that, but you use this even more. That way you can multitask. If you look at Elon Musk, he has XAI, X Grok. XAI is Grok. What's the difference? I'm yet to know what's the difference. XAI, Grok. We also have SpaceX, Neuralink, the Boring Company, which I've heard that it's going down, but maybe it's at the moment it's inactive, but it could still continue later on. Hmm, there are other things. There are other things, definitely. Like previously, Elon Musk was also part of Mastercard, PayPal, so he definitely has a lot of experience. And my current partner, I would say my current partner as well. I would say his name right now. His name is Isaac Azizi, and the other one more on the operation side is Nazman. They allow me to be here, to have sort of freedom to do whatever I want while working at the same time. I'm getting paid to work on my computer as an admin, but I still have to do some admin work for their construction company. But I don't mind. At the same time, I still have to go to the site every now and then. It's fine. It's to get experience because I am 24 years old this year and I would like to get experience in life. And yeah, especially in things that is available in the offline world. You can say real estate is one of it, but construction is one thing that I didn't even think of until this year. There's a long story, but long story short, construction is needed in this world. It's one of the boring businesses, but it is really required. It is really required. Every step that you take, as long as you are not in the jungle, you can see construction everywhere. Schools, road, lamp, that is construction. House, houses, apartments, those are construction. Which part particularly? In this company, it's more, at the moment, it's more towards housing, medium to high end housing. And I get to, get exposed to that. But it is definitely not my end goal because my end goal is to be like Isaac, be like Elon Musk. Therefore, subscribing to X Premium wouldn't hurt me because it's an investment. Of course, I'm not making money at the moment, but what it might help is to, as you can see over here, right? Boost, reply boost. I can connect with people in real time. Elon Musk might even reply me. There's nothing impossible. You can reply to president of a country, prime minister of a country. They might reply to you. All right. So verification, I would have the check mark and the optional ID verification. This is not necessary at the moment, but in the future, with Elon Musk's plan and my plan as well with my own app, I want to be one of the. I don't want to compete directly with Elon Musk, but I would like to tackle the parts that can be tackled. So I'm not directly competing with him, but in whatever gaps that is available, I try to fill in that gap. Why is this important? Oh, sorry, I've been showing my whole face the whole time. I forgot about that. Sorry. Yes. So reply boost. It's okay. One good thing in the business world is that you as a person, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be completely jack. You just need to be human. And that is the cost to becoming a successful entrepreneur in today's world, which is to become more human. In this world of AI and technology, I would say a lot of people are trying to compete with robots, but you can't. You never will. You cannot compete with robots. What you can do is you work with robots. Okay? And yeah, I stop. I stop over there for now. I will continue after this, but let's go through the rest of the thing. You have the checkmark, optional ID verification, which is, I said, not it is optional and not required at the moment, but we know in the future Elon Musk wants to make X like WeChat, like in China. And it's not impossible that in the future we will have a lot more apps. Apps is just like, it's an application. Okay, if you try to break down what apps is, it's an application. What you use, what will benefit you. It's like a tool. Apps is like another way to say tools in the modern world. So maybe back in the days, you don't have apps, but you have tools. I have a shovel. I have a vacuum cleaner. Vacuum cleaner? Yeah, vacuum cleaner. I have a mop. I have a pickaxe. I have a sword. All this Minecraft thing. I have a furnace. Again, it's Minecraft. I have a rice cooker. I have a car. Those are, you can say, there are tools. They help you. I have a washing machine. But in your smartphone, people would say, I have a smartphone. People don't say, I have an app. But we are approaching to the stage where apps are becoming more like tools than ever. Back then, it was gimmick. You know, this, you have this face, what they call, like, you can change, you can edit your face, put on makeup. Those are functional, but not applicable in today's world. But with the help of AI, with the help of AI, those things can become, can translate to the real world. So whatever you post in your app, you do in your smartphone, can be translated in this real world in real time with the help of AI. Why is this such an important topic? Is because we don't have this like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We are in a very, very different trajectory. Back then, we think that, okay, let's start from books or inks. It takes a few hundred years for us to, for humankind to reach 800 million users. It takes around 100 plus years from 0 to 800, users. In printers, they escalate the, you know those process, reading literacy, sorry, because before printers were created, people were writing. So those that, you can say, the first stage was writing on paper, on quill, on books, uh, on rocks, on the walls, animal skin. Previously, this first stage, pen and paper is not the first thing. First thing was maybe ink or like stone and wall. Pen and paper is quite recent, maybe a few hundred years ago. I don't know the history directly, but I've studied it somehow a bit. But I would say the first stage was that stage, rocks, walls, before the invention of ink. That may take a few thousand years to reach 800 million users, or it might not even reach 800 million users of, you know, rocks before the invention of ink. But with the invention of ink and then printers, they may take a few hundred years to reach 800 million users. And then around 25 years ago, maybe 30, I don't know. Let's just say, for the sake of it, around 100 years ago, this may not be accurate, but we are reaching the edge of computers or typewriters, this, electronic machineries. Is typewriter electronic? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. But they require around, let's just say, 20 to 30 years to reach 800 million users. What I mean by users is 800 million people to use those things, to apply those things, to apply those things. And then recently, maybe around 2015 or early 2015 or 2020, 5 to 10 years ago, let's just say 5 years, around COVID, those times AI was popping. Although AI was created way back then, but ChatGPT was the pioneer in this mass, um, production of AI. But again, ChatGPT is under OpenAI, and OpenAI is co-funded by Elon Musk, if I'm not mistaken. Goes back to Elon Musk, and like in this world of technology, Elon Musk is the one is the is today's legendary. You could say Elon Musk. PayPal, Mastercard, SpaceX, those Tesla, those inventions in this modern world. Elon Musk is the face of it. And right now we are in the stage of AI where it takes around, I think, a few months, if I'm not mistaken, 3 months. I think it took around 3 months for users to reach 800 million users. For ChatGPT to reach from zero to go from zero to 800 million users, it only take a few months, if I'm not mistaken. I think around 3 months or 4 months. Can you imagine? First thing was like rock and wall. Might not even reach 800 million users. Might not. Okay, because maybe during that time, verbally speaking and then remembering, repeating was a was an easier choice. Then we move on to pen and paper or ink, and then printers, and then typewriters, computers, and then now it's still computers, but we're escalating to AI. You can say printers, they may be not electronic printers, but this electronic world, man, it's really speeding things up. So it's another world in itself. There are people living in this online space. So I want you who's watching or listening to this video, I might even listen to me speaking about this because I like to ramble about these kinds of ideology things. It's a contemplation for me, definitely. Back in 2020, I know right now it's quite random that I suddenly talk about 2020 because yeah, I've been talking but I've not been posting. That's the problem. That's why like every moment right now is important. That I need to bring up something right now and right here. So back in 2020, just before COVID, I was making a video. I think I have it in my uh, Google Photos still. I was talking about driverless cars. Before I came to that conclusion, I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. I was obsessed to listening to Gary Vaynerchuk when he was talking about the hustle culture before Andrew Tate, before Alex Hormozy. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean the grind, the grind. It really motivated me to pursue my own path, which is the path of entrepreneurship. We need to clearly define what is entrepreneurship again. Maybe later on. Those things we can do it together, but we will do it in my X profile. I want my X profile to become informative and real time if possible. I might have a media channel or media personal of myself where things are more edited, more organized, but I like it raw. In this grind culture, hustle culture, being raw is attractive. It's masculine and it's authentic. A lot of people try to make it look too perfect, which they shouldn't, because if they have the budget to edit, they have the time to edit, Edit it properly. Don't edit it to make it look like it's raw. That that's your stance. If you're authentic, be authentic. If you want to edit, edit. You cannot choose both at the same time because that is inauthentic. All right. So what the one thing that I heard from Gary Vaynerchuk was he was talking about we as human beings, we are living on this rock that's floating in space. That moment, that was a pivotal moment for me because I never thought of us, you know, all of us, you listening, even you, AI, if you're listening to this, maybe not now, but in the future, in maybe 2050 or even 2030 or even before that, we are a creature that's living on a rock in space, a floating rock. That changes my perspective in life. That this world, man, talk about aliens, talk about moon landing, Mars. We are literally living on a planet right now, and we oftentimes we forget about it. That means that we are not here forever. Okay, it may not directly relate to not living forever, staying in a rock, not living forever, but it really is. We are not staying here forever. Even Elon Musk agrees that even if there's the technology that can extend our lifespan, there's no need for that, man. Make best time, make use of your current time as good as possible. All right. There's no need for you to live for 1,000 years. Fix yourself now and gradually improve yourself. Have you heard of the Japanese term kaizen? Kaizen, Kaisen. It means that improvements over time. You improve over time. That's it. We are human beings. If we die, we pass down our message to our children, to our grandchildren, great grandchildren, great great grandchildren, and so on and so forth. That is why these religions, these belief systems, they are still here, even today, even with AI. Although a lot of people start to believe in Scientology, but at the same time, at the other end, people are equally, more and more people are equally believing in these miracles, this faith. It's wonderful how the world is chaos and balance at the same time. It's the law of power. Have you watched that video from Veritasium, the law of power? Look at trees in the forest. They grow, and then a lightning strikes. They burn. Look at the tectonic plates on this planet where we are living right now. It's stable, but maybe after some time, something may happen. The tectonic plate may shift a little, even 1 centimeter, or even less than that, 1 millimeter. I don't know, but that could lead, that could cause a butterfly effect or domino effect that could lead to a larger event. It looks balanced, but when one thing is falling down, everything, or maybe not everything, but a lot of things will follow through. It's like Jenga, You try to pull one thing at a time, try to balance it. But at one point, it will become unbalanced. We don't know when it will become unbalanced. But what we can do right now is we can predict. Our prediction may not be accurate. We predict that we can live 100 years later. But maybe we will die tomorrow, or even after this, or even, you know, maybe during New Year's. Some of us will, probably. There's no day on earth, or it's very unlikely that there's one day where nobody dies. We all die, even in our sleep. It's micro death. We are testing death. Although sleep feels like nice, you're tired from working or doing something, doing work, I mean, it's the same thing, working, doing work. Then you lay down, you fall asleep. It feels nice, but it's good if you can experience death while you're asleep, because then you don't experience your soul being taken out. It's good. But imagine that you are like awake. Suddenly your soul needs to be taken out. That is not a good feeling. It's like sudden. I could die anytime. Like, you could be fit, healthy, very controlled, but we could die tomorrow out of natural instances or unforeseeable, you know, causes. Or we could not take care of ourselves, eat junk food every time, every day, never exercise, and we might, or smoking, do something that's unhealthy, and you could still live for the next 60, 70 years. That's why it is not clearly defined. We don't have the answer when we will die, unless death is certain, like right in front of us. Like if there's a fire, we are trapped in a building, then of course it is more likely that you'll die. Or if you walk, I don't want to explain how are you going to die. We don't know, but what's for sure is that we will die. So right now, make good use of your time. This video is not intended to, you know, be empty. It's not intended to be entertaining at the same time, but it's intended to be informative. That's who I want to become in this world. Although I don't have the answer to myself at all times. But if you look at all these entrepreneurs, they may not have the answer at all times. They have workers that are more intelligent than them. But what these entrepreneurs, like Elon Musk, my current partner, Isaac, Nazman, what they can do is creating a team that can work together. That is, what's beautiful is that in Islam, or even in, this, what they call, I forgot the term, but in religion, doesn't matter if it's Islam, Christianity, Judaism, with the prophets, or Hinduism, maybe, with prophets, and a lot of them, if not all of them, are shepherds. God has, put them to become shepherds before they become prophets. Why? Because by being shepherds, you are controlling a group of entities the same way entrepreneurs are doing. They control a group of people. Maybe in the future, this group of people may reduce and we replace half with AI, or there are even people doing 100% with AI. But the best is balance. The best is balance. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that, I don't know what he said, but from what I have heard and from what I know, that he likes to keep everything balanced, you know, everything balanced. Meaning to say, even from your day to day life. For example, your shoes. You wear the same pair of shoes. You don't wear different pair of shoes. You try to keep everything balanced. I don't know if there's a Japanese term, but that's what I learned in Islam, particularly from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is that keep everything balanced, you know? There's a hadith that I read. I don't know the exact quote, but the key takeaway is that there are times where his companions look at him and he's always fasting. Like, bro, today you're fasting, tomorrow you're fasting. When are you not fasting? But there are times where Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him are not fasting, cooking at home. Like, okay, today you eat, tomorrow you eat. So it's basically what it means is that there doesn't need to be a super structured way of life. You just have to be balanced. Meaning to say, you don't go to one extreme to the point that you cannot go back to the other extreme. Doesn't mean that you have to go to one extreme and go to another extreme. But it means that try to be as balanced as possible. Balance has a lot of benefits. You know, justice is balance, love is balance, kindness is balance. You don't want to be so kind that people use you and you get hurt by it. You don't want to be so loving that you get traumatized by it. People get the ick that you love this person so much that you're not loving yourself. In order for you to become balanced, you need to love yourself as well. For you to become just, all right, you cannot favor one person over the other. All of us are equal. We are all human beings. Even in Islam, there's a concept that there's no Arabs are superior than the Arabs are not superior than the non-Arabs. There's no race that is superior than the other race in Islam. We don't know in other faith. What it basically means that we accept humanity as a whole. We don't look at their race. Like, you don't use the race card. Like, you're Chinese, man. Come on. You're Indian, man. Come on. No, you don't do that. Okay. What you do is we treat everyone equally. We are all the same. We're all brothers and sisters. Okay. Again, not to the extreme. Like, some people may think that, okay, so then that means that men are and women are equal. No, we are. There's a term that I have created for myself in 2019 when I was studying. It's called complementary success. It's like yin and yang, pro and con. Complementary success means that you yourself, you cannot be independent, totally independent, because only God is totally independent. But what we can do is you become interdependent. For example, with your partner, with your business partner, with your friends, we become interdependent because we live in society. You don't live alone. Even God created us so that we treat each other nicely and kindly. We have soulmates. It's not you are being single. I mean, there are some things that can be discussed, definitely. Like, if you don't want to get married, or if you are secretly gay, for example, there are things that can be discussed. But there's a road path that would benefit all of us. So In a way, if you look at now, let's talk about Elon Musk, right? A bit, because I am about to subscribe to X. In a way, if you look at Elon Musk, right, he, you can say that he's a capitalist in terms of business. Maybe if you're playing Monopoly, you know, you need businesses, you need to purchase real estate or whatever businesses that can bring you money. In a way, you can say Elon Musk is a capitalist. You can say Elon Musk is a socialist, but that's a term I forgot actually. It's about, I forgot the exact term, but it's about maximizing the overall happiness of the most population. Okay, for this one, let's search. There's socialist. I don't know the social construct. I forgot. Capitalist. And what is the construct for or ideology of ideology for aiming? I don't know my English man. For maximum uh, happiness, for the maximum. It's not, maybe happiness is not the accurate term. Amount of people. Let's ask Gemini 3.0. Oh, sorry. I almost forgot about it again. The socialist, capitalist, and what is the construct of ideology for aiming for maximum happiness? That's a term. There's a term in which I forgot. I forgot that. While waiting, it's gonna be quick. I'm deciding to subscribe to X Premium today because today is my little brother's birthday as well. So yeah, it's a special day, 2nd December, and it also would be useful not only for me, but I believe that one day this can bring value to people because I try not to talk nonsense. I did a lot of nonsense, like me making this video and just doing nothing basically, or watching YouTube, or even like falling asleep. It's totally wrong. I want to be seen, but at the same time, I don't want it to be seen to the point that it affects my personal life. But doing it for my work life, I think it's possible. Is it utilitarianism? Hmm, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe on outcome. Hmm, I'm not sure. Is it? I think there's another word or a term for it. Ethical framework. How we decide what is right or good. Hmm. Maxim. I think this is the one. Yeah. Not maximalist, right? I don't know. The maxim in action law. I think I've heard of this. The greatest good for the greatest number of people. So I think AI would, Gemini 3 Pro would answer that Elon Musk would be a capitalist, but I think it's more of an utilitarianism, which suits Elon Musk more because he's not doing it for his own benefit. He could already like live in an island, have an easy life, buy a yacht, but he's not doing that. And I observe with my current partners, they are not doing that as well. They're still hustling like it's day one. And I respect those people. And even in Elon Musk's most recent interview, with I forgot his name. Sorry, that yeah, Indian race guy. Elon Musk answered one of his questions, and he said that while waiting for this, right? He said that Elon Musk respects those who give more than what they take. So if you can give more than what you can take, Elon Musk respects you. And I want to become someone who's like that. And even in Islam, that is good because part of it is charity. You don't transact equally. There's no equal transaction, man. You may think that okay, barter system, or even like right now, $1, $1. You have something that costs $9. You buy it for $9. Your phone costs $1,000. You pay for $1,000. That is monetary system, all right? And there are fees, of course, but in Islam, in our belief system, it's good that we give more than what we take. That's why there's if you have ever seen like the Arabs, right? They compete with paying. Like maybe for a lot of us, we are waiting for someone to pay first. But in this non-scarce world, of course you need money, but you need abundance. Basically, you don't need money, you need abundance. You might only have $10 in your pocket, but if you have abundance, you will spend it like it's nothing. Of course, it's nothing. Even if you have $100, you do it the same. Even if you only have $1 in your pocket, you see a cat, a stray cat on the street, they are hungry, you haven't eaten, but you think that you can survive for the night, or you have bread at home, you see this cat or dog who's hungry, you go to the store and you buy cat food or dog food and you give them anything that costs $1, of course, because you might not be able to afford a bag of cat food or dog food, but you can buy something equivalent of that. Maybe the small packs, that might cost less than $1. I'm not sure in dollar currency, but yeah. Right. So I didn't expect. I think I asked about this before, but I think Gemini 2.5 Pro would answer that Elon Musk was more of a capitalist. But this time around, Gemini 3.0 responded that Elon Musk is an utilitarianism, especially a modern branch called oh, especially a modern branch called long-termism. All right, that sounds interesting. Suits Elon Musk more than the other two. While he is obviously a capitalist in practice, yes, just like what I explained, in practice, in business, of course, a lot of people, low-minded people, they look at Elon Musk. Of course, he's rich, he can buy everything. No, he's not. It's the same as you. We are the same. We are the same. It's just a matter of mindset. Why? Because I've seen someone who's at the top, Isaac and Nazman, man. They may not be able to compete with Elon Musk combined, even hundred of great entrepreneurs combined may not be able to compete with Elon Musk. But looking at their mindset, those really changes my mind. It's not about how much money you make. You make less than Elon Musk, I don't want to listen to you. No, it's not about that. It's about knowing the character of the person. That's why it's important. Knowing the character of the person. Okay? You could be hated by everyone, by your looks, by your race. But if you have a great mindset, you are valuable than diamond, man. Literally. A lot of us, a lot of us, human beings, are brainless. It's a harsh word to say, but we do. Because we act like human. We act like animals, sorry. We act like animals. A lot of us. We think not with our brain, but with our lust. That's why there are terms that I don't know in your culture, but in my culture, the Malay culture, people would say, kau letak sini otak kau. Where's your brain? Otak kau dekat tapak kaki kau. Your brain is on your foot, like on your foot, meaning to say, your brain is not thinking. Your brain is not braining. I cannot brain. I cannot think. Your brain is not braining because you're not using your brain. Even a lot of us, those intelligent people, I wouldn't say me, humble, but a lot of us, we don't even use 10% of our brain's capacity. Meaning to say, it's like you have a MacBook, right? Or laptop or smartphone, but you don't even use its full potential. You may exercise a lot, you may look super jack, like super jack, but this one, this is more important. This is very important. A lot of people are attracted to looks, but they fade. Even your thinking can fade, but if you think, if you can use your brain right now to create wonderful things, those are more valuable. Look at Elon Musk, man. I keep people may even think that, okay, why are you, on top of Elon Musk so much? I don't want to say the harsh word, but why on top of Elon Musk so much? Here's a great example. Let's say there's no Elon Musk. You're gonna say that why on top of this person so much? It's not about who Elon Musk is, but it's about what he's doing. Alright? That's why we have a lot of these philosophical figures in Greek mythology. They are well renowned. They are the thinkers. They are the doers, they are the thinkers. But at that time, they think. Yeah, it's like long termism. This thinking can be applied in the future. It's a mindset game. It's a mindset game. Wealth is a mindset game. It's not money game. Wealth is not money game. You could have $1 million, but if you don't know how to use that money properly, you will lose. It's a mindset game. You could have $1, but if you have the right mindset, that $1, of course, it cannot do much in today's world, but you could get another dollar. You could get another dollar, or one day you could get $10,000. One day you could get $100,000. It's a mindset game. This is more valuable than money. Your brain. Okay, let's continue. Here's why it must fit the utilitarian construct best, particularly through the lens of long-termism. Number one, the long-termist calculus. Musk has explicitly endorsed long-termism, a modern spin on utilitarianism popularized by philosophers like William MacAskill. The core idea, standard utilitarianism, asks, how do we maximize happiness right now? In today's world, you can maximize happiness definitely. Short-term happiness, social media, drugs. I've never done that. Like misuse drugs, alcohol. Those are the things that can provide short-term happiness. But this is long-termism. It's not about maximum happiness now, but it's about ensuring that you have that capacity of happiness in the long term. Okay. Long termism asks, how do we maximize the potential happiness of all future humans? So it's not just about benefiting you, but also your you know children, grandchildren, yada yada yada. Mass application. If you believe humanity could last for millions of years and spread to the stars, there are trillions of potential future lives. A long-termist believes that ensuring those trillions of lives exist by preventing extinction is mathematically more important than solving temporary problems today. He's not living in the present, which could be regarded as con, but he's doing it for the future. It's like you sacrifice the now for the future. That's basically who he is, and we should be that too. If you apply that to your personal life, you should sacrifice your now for a better foreseeable future outcome. Work hard. You don't go to the gym just to experience the pain. Some people like to experience the pain, but you do it for the future. You have a long term goal, long term plan. Not for you on alone, but also for your spouse, for your offsprings, for everyone. If everyone is doing that, it will be great. It's not selfish, definitely. Because you sacrifice a lot. You sacrifice a lot not for yourself but for others. Okay. Example: Musk justifies spending billions on rockets, SpaceX, instead of fixing immediate hunger on Earth, because he views the existential risk of humanity being wiped out as a mathematically infinite loss of utility happiness. Alright, that's an excellent attempt, I would say. Even though there are belief systems that prevents us from believing that we could live, you know, for millions of years to the stars. But that may or may not happen. In Islam, it's unlikely that we would live for millions of years because Yawmul Qiyamah is near. We are at the end of times in Islam. We are not at the beginning of times. So again, with the law of power, the power law, we could be doing things really well right now, and all of a sudden, God says no. Suddenly, there's tons of gold discovered in the Euphrates River. This is what is mentioned in Islam in a hadith. There will be golds in the river of Euphrates. People would rush over, and there would be deaths. Everyone going there would think that they would be able to claim the gold. Out of 100 of people who do go there, 99 would die. So you have a slim chance of getting the gold. Imagine if there's 100,000 people going there. How many people would die? 1, 10, maybe 100 people would die. Only 100 people would live, mathematically. So yeah, while we are sort of stable right now, and some of us might even be certain that we can play God, we can change DNA, we can do this, do that, but there will be times where God will say no. There'll be limits. Even if you try to work over that, but there's no point. There's no point. We could work as a team to create advanced technology, but it could be wiped out, and the sun would prevail. There's a meme that I've read that really changed my perspective in this technology. Do you know that like in the ancient times in the pyramids, people, not necessarily the pyramids, but in the ancient times, people used to worship the sun. The sun. If you look up during the day, it's hot. There's a sun. It's a star. Why do people worship sun? There's a conspiracy theory that um there's a conspiracy theory that previously, during the ancient times, let's say during the Egyptian times or the Babylon times, They have very advanced technology that we may regard as today's alien time, aliens. Like, how can they build pyramids? It's impossible. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. One of it is that previously people during that time might be even more advanced than us today, although they still do hieroglyphics, this wall drawing, yada yada yada. This may or may not happen, but it's a rational justification that people in the past might have very advanced technology compared to us. And then one day, there's this, not supernova, but there's this, like, what do you call this? The sun ray, something, it wiped out with that, very little sun ray emitted out of this sun's atmosphere. My scientific term is very all over the place right now, but this sun contains a lot of energy, but there's a little bit of sun ray, or this thing goes into the galaxy, and on our earth we have this. If you look at this aurora, this electromagnetic thingy, they protect. It's a barrier. It protects us from this, no, galactic attack. Basically, it's not a physical attack, but it's a radioactive attack or something like that. Our Earth, we have protection. If not, we wouldn't live here. We have skies that protect us. We have the ozone layers. We have this a lot of layers that protects us. Maybe 7 layers. But going back to the story of the sun, let's just say that the sun ray, okay, it spread it hits the Earth, and all those technology that was existed during that time got wiped out, cannot be used anymore. Maybe for years, we don't know. And that could happen again. And during that time, those who's really into Scientology, they go back to worshipping the sun because they think that technology is superior than nature or the sun. But that one event wiped out, maybe not human beings, not the dinosaurs, but it wiped out the technology that they had, the electronics and stuff. And they all return, not all, maybe a lot of them return and worship the sun because they heavily relied on Scientology. This is a conspiracy theory again. It could be real, it could be fake, but it's rational. The moral of the story is that we cannot outplay God because God is God. But we can do great for humanity. That's for sure. Like Elon Musk, he can do great for humanity, but God is still God. That's the law of power. Going back to the law of power. Elon Musk may be at the, you know, if you look at the law of power, right? It starts from this is the Y axis, X axis. Law of power, if you look online, it's like this is number of people. Let's say the Y axis is your income. No, the number of people. This is the number of people. This is income. Law of power dictates that 99%, let's say, of people live in this 1% of income, earning somewhere between $0 to $10,000. The graph looks like this. It's like a skateboard, very steep, and then boom, almost flat. Meaning to say, the 99% of the population have between 0 to $100,000 per month income. The majority of us. The next majority of us may earn up to $100,000 a month every 30 days. Until Elon Musk and some anonymous Arabs, maybe at the very end here, the top 0.00001% or top 0.000000001%. We don't know how many zeros are there, but they are at the very end here, earning per month, maybe not even millions, but maybe hundreds of millions. That's possible. There are people achieving that right now, today. But we cannot outcompete God. That's for sure. Because this, we live in this sandbox. Who created it? God. There's no hack about it. We can, get a breakthrough. We can discover things. Even the ocean, I think still around 70% are undiscovered. A lot of things to be discovered in this world. And you still think that you're able to compete with God? No, we cannot compare with God. Even with the power of law, even with that, comparing human beings, all of us here, maybe God, infinite. You cannot compete with God, man. Because let's just say, man. Okay, for the 11:15. Let's just say that we can, you know, become multiplanetary. We can evolve as a very highly intelligent species, with robots. Let's think positively. Let's just say we can achieve that. But who owns your consciousness? God. It's like, do you know that right now you are you? Have you ever thought of that? That you are you? Like, I always had this talk with myself. I may or may not be autistic, but a lot of autistic people are successful if I am autistic. If I'm not, hopefully I'm still successful. But a lot of people, when I was younger, I look at people and think that they're living lives, but they don't really have this kind of long termism. When I was younger, I look at myself and I was so aware that I am in this body. I'm so aware that this is me. This is my hand. I'm so aware. Right now, I'm getting less aware of it, but I'm making this video in hopes of me humbling myself again, making myself look myself not in the mirror, but in this camera and my monitor. Look at myself again. I had that wonderful thoughts. You can say it's naive, but those thoughts, they don't come from the earth. They don't come from survival. Animals may not think about this. That, you know, why am I here? Animals may not think about that. They may think about, I'm hungry. I want to eat. I'm horny. I want to populate. I'm angry. I want to fight. Animals are like that. We as human beings, we are more than that. We are more than that, man. We can be like animals, but if you are like animals, you are law of power, you are here. You want to be at the very end, you want to be the best of the best, don't act like the rest. If you want to be the best, don't act like the rest. Meaning to say, your test would be so much worse. No doubt. You might have money, health, but your ability to handle pressure really dictates your chance of success. It's not a red pill thingy to say that, but it's not even survival. Some people do this for survival, but you do this for God. That is the ultimate mission. You do this not for humanity, but you do this for God. So yeah, maybe if Elon Musk is listening to this, you know, he may be, I don't know, he may be religious, he may not be religious, but whatever it is, the one who controls the heart is God. God can blow into your heart, and suddenly you have this inspiration that, oh, wow, I never look at it that way. Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's the power of God. We don't think the way that humans think. We think how God wants us to think. We could never ever replicate God in his perfectness, but what we can do is we follow what he wants us to do, which is to try our best. And Elon Musk is one of those people who's trying his best. Although there are politics, there are disagreements in ideology, in faith, but in terms of like humanity, he's one of the philanthropists that is well respected. Not just philanthropists, but he's doing this for the world. It's making us, the rest of us, think. You want to be at the very end? Don't be like the rest. Don't be like the rest. You are still human. You still need rest. You still need food. You still need drink. We are still humans. We're still human beings. But our mindset, this is the most expensive commodity that we have. Our mindset. What is the message of this video anyway? The message is that the message is that do you know who you are? If you're in survival mode, you may say, of course I know. I'm me. You're not your name. You're not your name. You're more than that. You're not your body. You're more than that. There's something other than your body, your hands, your fingers, your hair. That is you. That is your soul. What is soul? What is soul? Let's ask AI. Okay. New chat. I'm gonna ask AI, what is soul? Okay, what is a soul? Simple question. If it can, you know, tell me, if Gemini 3 Pro can tell me what is soul. Before that, my my I wouldn't say prophecy, but my prediction in this near future is that we will not eradicate AI, because I'm thinking in terms of balance, the law of power, balance, chaos, yin yang, complementary success, yada yada yada. Kind of this mindset, if I'm in this perspective, AI would still be here. We would be using AI more than ever, just like how we are using the internet computers right now more than ever. We cannot eradicate AI, but we work with them. And the best among you are those who, not bad early, but what I'm trying to say is that the best among you are those who realize the truth and you spread the message. Spread the message. Even if you are unable to do such wonders, you're not a prophet. But I believe with the creation of AI right now, application of AI right now, a lot of great minds will exist. Even people with bad habits still can outperform you just by having AI. So what's your excuse, man? And that's why I'm doing this. I'm subscribing to X Premium after this before 12 a.m. because this is my commitment. I'm subscribing to X as a commitment for myself to be part of, you know, to contribute to humanity. Although this may be very irrelevant, but I believe that in terms of mindset, ideology, it is a waste of time for a lot of people. But I don't do it for a lot of people. I do it. I don't do it for a lot of people right now, but I do it for a lot of people in the future. In the future, because in the future, there's way more people than right now. This is how you become someone who's in the history books. I'm not saying that to become selfish, like okay, I want to be popular. No, but you do this under the mission. And the best mission is of God. You do it for God. That's why maybe if you think in terms of the law of power, maybe humanity will still live a million years. Maybe, let's just say it could happen. And your message right now that is not beneficial today, but will be beneficial in the future, it's evergreen. It's evergreen. That's why, like these religious beliefs, they are evergreen, definitely. Some people go to the extreme that thinking that this is a cult. No, it's a belief. All of us have beliefs. Even rich people, they have beliefs similar to poor people. A lot of rich people are no different than poor people. We are no different than each other. But what separates us are our good deeds. Our good deeds doesn't just mean like you see a poor man on the street, you help him. That's not the only good deed that you can do. Another good deed that you can do is you think what is great for humanity. Try to solve it. Be part of it. That you would become beneficial. If you look at the prophets, a lot of people are against them. During that time, let's just say like there's a prophet right now, right? Okay. Prophets don't chase for views. They don't chase the algorithm, but they spread the truth. Some people may hide under the mask of truth while they are selling something. We can tell who's authentic, who's not, but who's truly authentic is someone who's the same today, tomorrow, forever. This person has achieved what a lot of us don't achieve. And the best way, okay, let me ask you, what's the easiest way to make money in an ethical way? You could say stealing yada yada, but the best way is to provide goods and services. Business, goods and services. That's the best way to make money. Yes, you can steal yada yada, but it's unethical. You could make a lot of money, but the best way. Okay, maybe that question is not really uh, specific, but for me, the best way to make money is providing goods and services. Goods and services. You provide good, you can sell things, services, provide services, you can get money. That is the way. What are the other ways? Even stealing is a service or a disservice. And also like goods, pets, I don't know. Another question is Okay, that's the first question. I forgot actually. What's the next question? Okay, I think I kind of get it. The first question was, what's the best way to make money? Okay, the second question is, what's the best way to live? Some people say live happily. That is partially true. You know, in Islam we have this uh, hadith. The words of the prophets, which whom he mentioned that if I don't quote exactly, but if you are an easygoing person, then God forbid you from hellfire. Be someone who's You need to become someone who's easygoing. You know, we can say fun, but a human, which is what I would say, because a lot of people right now they are inhuman. So be human. Some people may hide under the mask of I want to be kind so that I get something, but there are people who are inauthentic. But yeah, starting from today, try to become authentic, and you would build a name and think big, man. Like everything is possible. Let's say I can be at the same level as Elon Musk, because we are, of course, in the power of law. It's a far way to go, but especially with AI right now, it's easy. With the right mindset, again, I can start from zero on negative, and I can go there faster than ever. A lot of people back in the day, they may not have this technology, so they really have to plan. Let's say, what am I doing in this next 100 years? Let's say I'm going to rule this world, this part of Earth. I need to protect it, so to make sure like I secure this area. Then I would expand to this area. They need strategy, but they lack data. But what they have is planning. So things that never change is planning. Even right now, doesn't mean that you have technology, you don't have to plan. Doesn't mean that you have technology, you don't think for the future. Like, I'm tired, what should I do now? And I would say, do this, do that. You just follow it. No, you still have to have this long term goal. You can ask it, what's your long term goal? But don't just think with your mind, think with your heart as well. You need to link both. That's the best way. What is the heart? The heart is the heart is where consciousness begins, I would say. I may not be scientifically correct, but if I'm speaking from the heart is where consciousness begins. Without the heart, there's no blood. Alright, no blood in the brains, you die. Also, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've watched videos on YouTube. This could be entirely false, but this could be true as well. So I hope some of you guys can help with this. Back in the day when I was watching YouTube, there's this video talking about heart transplants. Someone using another person's heart, and what changed is that the other person, the person who receives this other person's heart, have different psyches, like different memory. Like suddenly, this person remember things that the other person used to remember. The heart has a form of memory in itself. Hopefully, I can live in the world where science can prove that, and we will live in the golden age again. Are we living in a golden age now? Not necessarily, but I would say it is coming. But even if we die right now, right? Even if we die right now, even if we die right now, if we are a good human being, we do good. We don't, let's say you do good throughout your life, your career, and you die. It's not wasted. People might not remember you if you're not doing this for business. You do this for God. You don't want to be known. God will reward you. In fact, there are a lot of people who are not popular, not Elon Musk level, not Jeff Bezos level, not Bill Gates level. They are not known. They are not this. They're not wealthy financially, but after they die, they are the top 0.0001%. They are among those, and they are people who are outperforming Elon Musk and those people. And what I'm trying to say here is that we must work towards that. We must work towards it. The more people who use power correctly, the more it benefits us, the humanity. Do it for God. Okay, let's just see. At its core, what is a soul, right? A soul is understood as the incorporeal, non-physical essence of a living being. It is often described as the seat of consciousness, personality, and the part of a person that is believed by many to survive the death of their physical body. Because the concept has evolved over thousands of years across different cultures, there is no single agreed upon definition. Instead, it is best understood through three different lenses: religious, philosophical, and scientific. There you go, three different lenses. The first one, the religious and spiritual perspective. Most religions view the soul as the true self, the true version of you that is distinct from the body. Yes, this is what I was missing. Abrahamic faith, Judaism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam generally view the soul as being created by God. Have you watched a movie where you're in this place, there's a soul, someone who's, keeping the soul. That's a metaphor. So basically, we could own a lot of things in this world, but one thing that we don't essentially own is our true self, our soul. We don't own this. It is like rented basically. It's lended. We are here for a temporary temporary amount of time, and yeah, it's a question that needs to be pondered about. It's not a simple, do you have a soul or not? No. What is soul? What is not soul? It's not a simple question, but it's a way for you to contemplate life. Because this life, what is life? What is the meaning of life? This matter for you as a human being. Because if you don't think about this, you are like animals, man. Do you want to become like animals or not? The harsh way to say it. We are the leaders in this earth. We can go to space. Animals cannot do this. So we need to become better than them. If a lot of us are conscious about this question, like the soul, this true self, the law of power would be, you know, it could be eradicated, but not entirely, but could be reduced. Going back to like these lambs, you don't want to become like these lambs or sheep. You want to become that shepherd, that leader. We are leaders, basically. All of us are leaders. Going to space, only a selected amount of people can go to space. In the future, also, you want to become the selected ones. And it takes a lot of sacrifice. But one of it is that you need to become a leader of your own, of your family, of the others. Great leaders. Okay. Hinduism, the soul. Okay, well, death is seen as the separation of the soul from the body, leading to an afterlife or judgment. In Hebrew, the word ruach means both spirit and breath. Okay, yeah, I kind of get that. I've in Islam as well, ruh, spirit, breath, highlighting the connection between the soul and the breath of life. Hinduism, the soul is called the Atman. Unlike the Western view of personal soul that happens once, the Atman is eternal and moves through a cycle of death and rebirth, reincarnation until it achieves liberation, moksha. Buddhism, uniquely Buddhism teaches the concept of anatta, no self, anatta. They argue that what we call a soul is actually a constantly changing collection of thoughts, feelings, and perceptions, rather than a permanent and changing entity. It's like we experience life, basically. It's a unique identity. It's like DNA is it's uniquely you. Fingerprint is uniquely you. The soul is uniquely you. Your past, your present, your future is uniquely you. The philosophical perspective. Philosophers have debated the nature of the soul for millennia, largely focusing on its relationship to the body. Dualism. Plato and Descartes. Descartes? I don't know how to say that. This view suggests the soul and body are two completely different substances, which I agree. Plato viewed the body as a prison for the soul, or like a jar, while Rene Descartes famously argued that the mind, soul, is a thinking machine, separate from the physical extended thing, body. This is why we often feel like we have a body rather than are a body. We could lose limbs and we still have the same consciousness. It's just that we don't have limbs. The form of the body. Aristotle. Aristotle believes the soul was not a ghost in a machine, but the form or function of the body. It's what is required for a body. If not, we are just a corpse. To him, the soul is to the body what vision is to the eye. Okay. If the eye were a distinct being, sight would be its soul. Okay. In this view, the soul cannot exist without the body. It's a data collection machine or data interpretation machine, thinking thing. The scientific and secular perspective. Science does not find evidence for a non-physical spirit that survives death. However, the word soul is still used in psychology and neuroscience in metaphorical or descriptive ways. Consciousness. Many scientists equate the soul with the mind or consciousness. Mind and consciousness. Those two always come hand in hand. Mind, heart, consciousness, soul, breath. Breath is unpopular, but it's, you know, there could be a discovery in the future with philosophy combined with scientific and secular perspective, and also religious belief as a source. The emergent result of billions of neurons firing in the brain. When the brain stops, the soul consciousness stops. Okay. Mm, okay. Possible. Metaphor for depth. In secular culture, soul refers to the deepest part of human emotion and creativity. When we say someone is a kind soul or that music has soul, we are referring to vital energy, empathy, and authenticity. Summary. Biologically, it is the spark of life. Metabolism, brain activity. It is what makes things alive, you know. There's dead, there's alive. Biologically, that is soul. Psychologically, it is your personality, memory, and consciousness. Even if that thing is dead, you still can remember if this person was a good person or not, what this person has done. That's psychologically. You know, biologically is what is physical, or physically. Physical, biological is the same thing. Psychological, it's what we interpret as our psyche. Spiritually, it is the eternal essence. It is the eternal essence that connects you to something greater than yourself. So, psychologically and spiritually, let's talk a little bit before I subscribe to experiment. Psychologically, spiritually, what's the difference? Okay, psychologically, it is what is psychological? Psycho, your brain, how your brain interprets things. It's like how your eye sees things. That is psycho. It's not the heart, it's the brain. Your brain can malfunction and you might have some internal issues. It's like you have a laptop, your phone, it might, you know, misbehave from time to time. That's why there are people with personality disorders, but they still have the same soul as we all do. It's just that they may be mentally unstable, but they can still achieve wonders. In fact, a lot of them are wonderful people, brilliant minded people, because they don't look at it as a disadvantage. Although, based on data, a lot of them are also suicidal with depression and stuff, but that's because society makes them think so. But based on my experience, knowing someone, studying someone, it is a gift. A lot of, you know, like the power of law. People with this kind of like psychological issues, they really opened my eyes that, like there are these people in this world, and they help me to understand the world even more, and they clearly removes or disrupts the norm that I perceive as normal. For me, maybe hustle culture means that you work at hours, this having this work life balance, but a lot of successful people, they actually don't. Even if you can try to attempt to have a normal life and become successful, you can, but there are people working harder than you, although they may or may not live longer than you. Maybe they sacrifice a lot of their health, but a lot of them don't. Maybe they work a little bit harder than you, but they make every second count, every minute functional, every minute valuable, and they outperform you. There's a quote that I have created myself in 2017, I would say. No, 2018. No, 2016. 2016 to 2017. I think it's 2017. The quote was the best, no, the most difficult way. No, it's it's difficult to beat someone who's never giving up. What it means, it's not about the quote, it's about the message. Again, it's not about life or death, it's about psychologically. You dive deeper. That's the soul. So what it means is that, again, like it's like this Japanese term, kan kaisen, kaisen, never give up, keep improving, improve. Even though right now I'm not having the best setup, there are a lot of greater edits out there, but I am that is not my sphere, at least for now, because I believe that AI or technology would be so great that even my boring video like this, it's definitely possible today. I can download it, transcribe it, or and AI would edit it, cut parts of it. It might not be great right now, but give it 5 years or less. Let's say 1 year, next year, because the power of law. Because video generation, of course, in AI is it's very excellent. It's excellent, but it's not the best in terms of AI. AI thinking is the best for me. It helps me to think. AI voice is, I would say, like Suno or like 11 Labs. They are very close to human already. AI video, it's getting there. It's very close to becoming more like human, but it's still, images are photorealistic already. So we have these four things: thinking, thinking, uh, sound, images, videos. Thinking, sound, images, videos. Thinking is the best AI tool that I can use right now. Sound can be useful for application. Maybe talk to your phone, talk to your device. Your device is your assistant, just like Google Assistant or Siri. Images, like right now, it's a gimmick. It can be applicable in the future. Like, think of the future, man. Like, let's say it can generate pictures in real time, photorealistically. AI video games are coming out, and then video. Those take a while, but I think the next big thing in AI video is the editing part, like CapCut. I don't know what are other apps, but that's not my field to pursue right now because I have other mission. My mission is to create more or less like X. I'm not directly competing against Elon Musk, but I'm working with him essentially. But my specialty would be for maps. There are people who listen to this and they suddenly try to, okay, maps. That's the secret. I'm gonna do it. A lot of people they look at Elon Musk thinking they can create a social media like X. It's very simple. They create those social media. They can do marketing and stuff, but no matter how simple it is, Elon Musk is still Elon Musk. People who buy what he sells will still buy from him, even though there are other people who's selling for a cheaper price. Yada yada yada. It's about your personal brand. Let's just say before I subscribe to X Premium, it's getting closer to 12 a.m. 8 more minutes before I subscribe to X Premium. Let's just say that you're playing a game of Among Us. Do you know Among Us game? You could be the imposter. You could lie. People could believe you until it's too late. Or you can be true to yourself. Just focus on yourself as a crewmate. If you're the imposter, of course you focus on doing the bad stuff. But if you're the crewmate, just focus on doing the good stuff, man. Even though the game doesn't accurately depicts life, but it's a great, you know, comparison tool on how we operate as a team, as human beings, as a society. You could try to become a copycat, but to last, to be authentic, that is whole another different. To be consistent, that is another level, man. Like with internet, with AI, you can live forever essentially in this world. Although it's not forever, but it's like as long as you can live, even after you die. So let's subscribe to X Premium, 20 ringgit per month. Alright, subscribe and pay. I'm going to post a video if it requires some credit card information. Alright, let's view the details a little bit. Okay, per period monthly. Okay. Alright, let me pause. Alright, I'm all set. My purchase was successful. 23 ringgit. If unlock a whole new level of X, let us show you around. Okay, so now and take control. You plus rise to the top with reply boost. You can write longer posts, edit, pause, and upload much longer videos. I think it's up to 3 hours. So I'm gonna upload this video on X. At first, or for the longest time, I've been thinking of YouTube. But right now, thinking of long-termism, I think YouTube is still a good, platform. Or Google is a good platform. But I think who will come close is whatever Elon Musk is building, XAI. XAI would come close to it. It's like Kick versus Twitch. No, it's very close. YouTube could still be the number one. I mean, Google or what is it? Alphabet could still be the number one um, company in technology in this kind of like I don't know. Apart from Nvidia, who's selling GPUs, or Google is like all in one, sort of like software company, hardware as well, but more to software. But Elon Musk currently social media XAI, I think it can go very close to number one. I mean, in App Store, there's a few times where it became number one. It's a source of truth. YouTube, yes, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, yes, they are excellent right now. But thinking long term, evergreen, YouTube is still this is difficult, man. But in terms of posting, YouTube has a disadvantage. They can create posting but I believe let's just give it 5 to 10 years. I would say X would be the number one platform. All competing YouTube, all those combined. Because why? It's a word first, text first platform. YouTube, it's a video first platform. Although they can try to attempt to become text first, they cannot do it. Even if they try, Google can create a new social media, but X would win, Thinking of growth, which trajectory we are heading, I think XAI would be number one. So yeah, with YouTube, there's these restrictions. You can do entertaining stuff there. Keep it PG if possible, but yeah, XAI, it's more I would say freedom of speech. I don't know. Monetize alright. Get paid to post. When eligible, monetize your content with creator revenue sharing. Create subscriptions to give your followers exclusive content. With Grok. What stocks are you taking most persons? Your built-in AI assistant. Grok can generate images. Yeah, Grok. The thing with X, the USP, the unique selling proposition, is that it's a social media first, text first, AI first platform. Whereas YouTube, The AI is for summary and stuff. Other people can do that, but it's not like it's not practically useful. I mean, it's practically useful, but it's not like an assistant because it's a separate entity. Gemini and YouTube are separate. They can work together. Like in Gemini, you can access YouTube, but it's not as closely. It's like you have a coworker. X and Grok are like besties, whereas like YouTube and Gemini are like this. They keep everything professional, of course, but they're not besties. They are professional. They are like the equivalent of Windows, Microsoft to smartphones, Android, or Apple. XAI with Grok, the projection is that they can grow faster than YouTube, Gemini separate. Although they can be the number one in terms of technology. Like let's say if Mark Zuckerberg is allowing for AI other than Meta AI in their these glasses, Meta glasses, Gemini would be the top contender for this medium term, but for the longer term, I believe XAI would be the number one because it's text first, AI first, truth seeking. That's the ground, that's the root. A lot of AI, they can be truth seeking as well, but it's getting harder to trace the correct source. Even if they can have 1000 more sources and they can compare between those sources, but with the growth of AI could, it's like a virus. There's no regulation. Whereas in X or Twitter, you pay for regulation, basically. It's not pay to win, but if you are, it's like authentic. It's authentic. How else can I say? But for now, I know look, I never thought of. Last time I always used to think of, should I use Android or Apple? Now Android all day long. Then last time, maybe like last year, I was thinking of, should I use Gemini or ChatGPT? Now Gemini all day long. Right now, should I use Gemini or Grok? Still Gemini is still number one. But I believe XAI Grok, give it, let's say, overall with what Elon Musk is, planning or doing with his companies and what I'm doing. I will be working close with him. Okay. So yeah, I cannot ever like ignore Elon Musk or boycott Elon Musk. I know him. I know how he's thinking. It's like, yes, you can try to cancel him, whatever, but I would say I'm part of him that I am discovering. I have discovered, I've realized, but I haven't really fully applied it yet. I don't know, it sounds like a nonsense thing to talk about, but again, law of power. Only the 0.00001% will understand. Okay. See your profile stats. You've unlocked access to advanced analytics to your profile and other site. View Edge and many more perks. Bookmark folders, download and background video, encrypted DMs, highlight tabs, custom app icons. Another thing is that in terms of chat, it is possible that Telegram and X. This is just a prediction based on who I see in this world. Telegram and X could be working closely together. Telegram would integrate into X. That would be wow. That's why I invest in early. I'm not investing in stocks because like Elon Musk don't do that. Although you can choose to invest in stocks if you want to, but I don't do that. I would invest in myself, build things for myself, but for those things that I can use in my day-to-day life, I invest in. I invest in things that would bring benefit in the future, not stocks like that. Although that can bring, but not now. Even if I do right now, it's useless. I'm still like, I still need money. But yeah, still like, there's no impact. Until I get enough impact, then I can invest in stocks. And that is if fewer ads and many more. Okay, bookmark folders, download encrypted apps, highlight steps, custom app icon. You'll get your blue checkmark soon. You'll get a blue in a few days if approved. Okay, explore premium hub. What is my premium hub? Okay, thank you. Hiring beta. Okay, ID verification. Read articles. Cool. All right. But there's not much difference. I do expect it, but I just do it so that I can interact with people, network with people, and build my digital footprint on X. Because one day it will be beneficial. It's like X is AI first, text first. It's going to be the ultimate source of truth, just like how Google used to be. In the most practical way, you can chat, you can reply, you can quote. It is special. No wonder Elon Musk was willing to invest up to 45 billions of dollars instead of creating a new social media platform, because the value of X, man, is so much. Although before this it wasn't a freemium app, now it's freemium or premium, whatever. But that is going with today's trend. But yeah, okay, fine. So I think that's it. That's it. Now Premium Plus. I can't afford it. So yeah, this will be my first long video on X. I don't know. A lot of rambling definitely, but maybe in the future Grok will be able to analyze my hours length of video. And maybe you will see in this post, if I do post it, I'm posting it if I can, that Grok summary, that maybe at the bottom you will see that the user or Audi is talking about, Audi is contemplating whether Grok, in bracket me, is able to summarize an hours long footage. Maybe in the summary is converting video to text, because text is the code for human beings, and AI masters text already. But we humans, a lot of us still do not master text. I mean, this coding language is the language of computers. I know there's a lot of nonsense here, but I think there are things that is very contemplative. I enjoy doing this, although it's like nonsense. I'm sacrificing my sleep. I should have slept earlier, but I'm doing this for a good cause. So I think that's it. Bye bye. Peace be upon you.